I'm here with a still jubilant Nigerian fan, Ayo, after a great win again in AFCON for Nigeria, 1-0 against Angola. How are you feeling after the result?
Feeling pumped, feeling excited. I think we're finally where we want to be, and I think this is not the final lap. It's a step in the best direction. I think we can finally go all the way.
The team were under a lot of pressure after the first draw against Equatorial Guinea. You have not conceded a goal since that game. What changes have been made to bring about that great defensive form?
I think you have to give a lot of credit to the coach, Jose Pesero. He's taking the team and did a turnaround. You know, for you to make those drastic defensive changes, because it switched up to a 3-4-3 from a 4-3-3, which is a much more difficult situation, because a 3-4-3 formation requires a lot of discipline, and requires a lot of legs, a lot of attacking, and a lot of defending too. And then it isolates the striker. So, but they've been able to produce repeated disciplined performances, which has resulted to no goals being considered in 4 games. So you must give credit to the coach, and then the players to being wired in, wired shot. Calvin Bassey, Ola, Ekong, Shemi, these guys are just absolutely grounded. So you must give credit to the coach, and then the players for following the instructions through.
You mentioned a couple of the in-it boys, Ola Aina, Calvin Bassey, Alex Iwobi. How important has the diaspora been to Nigeria's fortunes in this tournament?
For me, at the end of the day, when you play for Nigeria, the diaspora thing lives in my head. For me, you're representing the green, white, green color. That's what matters the most. Probably the only time the diaspora thing comes into play is the time they eventually decide to play for the country. And there's that emotional feeling about, are we second fiddle, are we not? By the end of the day, they're Nigerians, wherever they're lineage, they're Nigerians. As long as they're donning the shirt of the green, white, green. And Ademola Lookman has been a spectacle so far in this tournament. He scored in back-to-back games, in round-of 16, in the quarterfinals. What else do you need? I don't need him to be a diasporan. I need him to be a Nigerian, and he's being a Nigerian. They're all being Nigerians, and that's all that matters at the moment.
Let's talk about your key Nigerian, Victor Osimhen. Had a goal ruled out yesterday. Heartbreaking for him. He scored 1 goal in this tournament, despite all the hard work he's put in. Do you think that he's frustrated at the lack of goals he scored in this tournament?
I think he must be frustrated. He must be gutted, getting in those goals. I mean, the one from the Angola game was such a powerful header, and then he was just caught off by his arm for an offside. But you look at a player of his magnitude, I think he should be able to deal with such kind of pressure, such kind of moments. We've seen big players, Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi, Lewandowski, go through a goal drought. But this is a competition, this 7 games competition, right? I don't think he has to be the top scorer. I just think he has to perform. And match in, match out, undeniably, no one can say Victor Osimhen hasn't performed in every single game. But there's something I have reserved. I think his goal is going to come. And I think it's going to come at the most crucial moments that the Super Eagles need that goal. Maybe to send us to the finals, or maybe to win the African Cup of Nations.
I like the confidence. Well, I'm a Ghanaian, so I don't like it too much. You talked about his goals going to come in an important game. The next game is semi-final. Who would you prefer to play in the semi-final?
Cape Verde. I like to play Cape Verde because they love to attack, they love to come out. I saw them against Egypt. It was end-to-end. They gave the Egyptians a run for their money. But South Africa, the reason I'm trying to avoid South Africa is the fact that I watched them play against Morocco too, and it seemed very disciplined and very quite as pragmatic as we are. Defend as a compact unit and attack as a force. And they took out the, probably the best team, the so-called best team in Africa. So I would want Cape Verde because I know that they love to attack. We are impregnable, and then we get a goal and then we still win.
Yeah, the confidence of a Nigerian. What I'm looking at is the bracket for this. There's a potential we could have a Nigeria-Ivory Coast final. Would you bring that on?
Absolutely. I just wouldn't want to know what will happen when we win here, because we know they can go bonkers and chaotic here. But honestly, to have them back in the finals again, it also says a lot about them. They were down and under, about to go out, and then they were saved by Morocco, Hakim Ziyech to be particular about, and they've knocked out the defending champion. They're going against Mali, and let's see what they can come to. But I'm sure the Ivorians are also looking at meeting the Super Eagles in the finals to be a big spectacle in the final. And I'm sure once we get to that final, I mean, that's it. We will win it. I don't want to jinx it, but I feel very confident about the team. They are heading in the right direction. They're compact defensively and going all out. They are explosive. So, man.
And very quickly, Mali take on the Ivory Coast today. What's your prediction for that game? How do you think that game goes?
I think Ivory Coast will hold their own. They were able to hold their own in the second half against them, defending champions Senegal, which a lot of people didn't really give them chances for. But Mali are also a team that you should not also look past it, because they didn't get to the knockout stages and the quarterfinals. They didn't get there by fluke. They won games to get there. So Ivory Coast also have to be wary about that team too. The presence of Bissouma in there would create something magnificent for them too. But you're looking at the Ivorian side, who disappointed their fans against Equatorial Guinea and won the love and the heart back against Senegal. I'm sure they wouldn't want to take their foot off the pedal at this moment. So for me, I'd say Ivory Coast will go through.
Thank you very much, man.